Yes, let's see. Science. Social studies.
Hey, Mr. Tschida, what are you doing?
Now, Alan, I've already told you I'm not Mr. Tschida, I'm Dr. Tschida, and...
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Dr. Tschida.
Alan,
Yeah?
you're talking!
Well, yeah. Mr. Tschida, calm down. I mean, Dr. Tschida. Dr. Tschida, calm down. No, it is real. You made me real with your imagination. It's fun, right?
My imagination?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well...
Well, what are you doing right now?
Oh, I was just about to teach all the boys and girls at home about fossils.
Fossils? Oh, what's a fossil?
Well, a fossil is the remains of anything that was a living thing before.
Huh?
Anything at all.
Well, why would anybody want to study fossils
Well,
then?
because there's actually been so many different types of animals that have been around for millions of years, and actually they're all extinct now. So, for example, no one truly knows what a dinosaur is like.
I do.
What?
Yeah, I went back in time and I time traveled, and I saw a
Alan,
lot of dinosaurs.
No one on Earth has been able to travel back in time.
Well, I did.
There are so many questions that you could answer for us.
Like what?
For example, one of the most important questions is we don't know, are dinosaurs warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
I don't really remember asking the Stegosaurus that. I mostly helped him do his laundry because he had a lot of wet clothes.
Stegosaurus with his laundry?
Yeah, that was before the T-Rex came and chased me.
Well, do you mind if I just teach them about what fossils are?
Oh, of course, I love learning.
Hello, boys and girls. So fossils are the remains of a living thing that no longer exists. So a lot of times we want to say remains, that means it's what is left over. There are many different types of fossils. There could be bones, there could be, for example, plants. If a plant can have that. It could be a footprint, or there's the best one.
Oh!
I'm sorry, as scientists we should say droppings. The
droppings.
droppings of animals. Yes, they're the remains of something left over, and those can also become fossils. Did you know that? Anyways, so what is a scientist that studies fossils called?
I don't know.
Alan, do you want to say?
I don't know.
Okay. They're called a paleontologist.
An alientologist?
No, Alan, not an alientologist. That is silly. No, paleo actually means something very, very old. So a paleontologist is someone who studies things very, 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 very old, even older than ancient.
Paleontologist.
Why would we study these fossils? Well, that's the only way. Now, some of us aren't as lucky as some people, and they can go back in time, and they don't share it with their friends.
Oh, I'm sorry,
But-
Dr. Tschida.
Most of us can't go back in time, right? So we have to study the things that were left behind. Now, how do these fossils form? Well, most of the time there would be a dinosaur that would be walking, or I'm going to give you an example of a dinosaur. Let's say there was a dinosaur 65 million years who was walking around.
Hey, that's the Triceratops Tri-State Bowling Champion.
Bowling champion?
Uh-huh, I helped him bowl.
Okay. Well, let's give an example. A Triceratops was walking along one day and then he dies. And then what will happen is after millions of years, many times, it'll be raining. And that rain will collect all this mud and all this dirt, and it will start to cover the Triceratops until after millions and millions and millions of years, it will have buried the Triceratops deep into the ground. Now, what happens from there is that actually all of the soft parts of the Triceratops, and actually after millions of years, it's sometimes even the bones, will start to break apart. And instead, there will be a shape of a triceratops that's still under the ground, but most of its parts have fallen off, and they collect at the bottom. And then they disintegrate. They decompose is the word that we use. After that, same thing, for millions and millions of years, it is going to continue to rain. And that creates what's called erosion, which will start to wear down the upper layers. What that does is when the water collects, it will start to pick up little bits of dust and rock, and then it will carry that into the shape of the dinosaur. It will then fill up the dinosaur with all of these little bits of rock and dirt, and after millions and millions and millions of years, it will push it all down until you have a rock that is shaped like a dinosaur. So a lot of us, we can't find the original pieces. We can't find the soft parts. We can't find actually the bones, but what we can find are the things that are actually rocks in the shape of these dinosaur bones. So what we like to do is, as paleontologists, we go down into these things, and we have to be very careful because all of these tools that we use are going to be used to collect all of these bits of dust. So we have to be very, very careful because there are many different types of rock. And many different types of rock, some are soft, some are hard. So sometimes if we're not being very careful as paleontologists, we could break the bones or the rocks. Now, because most of these things are already like copies of the rock or of the fossils themselves, what we will need to do is that we have to make sure that we don't accidentally break them. So some paleontologists, what they'll actually do is they'll bring some materials to make a copy. Just the same way the fossil was formed, they will make a copy of that one. They can leave the fossil in the ground, then they can take it to a laboratory or any kind of science museum, and they can work on it there. This is another way of making sure that we can keep the bones safe, but also study them, because we are scientists and we love to do science.
Yeah, we love that.
Even though this is a social studies class, we still do science sometimes.
Yeah, we still
So,
do.
that is what a fossil is. And, well, Alan, is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience with dinosaurs, since you don't know what a warm-blooded or cold-blooded... Oh, here's another one. Some people think that dinosaurs, like birds, they have hollow bones. They have no space inside of their bones, just like how a bird is able to fly. They think maybe dinosaurs were able to get so big because they had hollow bones.
Well,
What
I
do
saw
you think?
Brachiosaurus, and he couldn't get his hat on, so I had to help him get his hat on, so that was a big problem.
Brachiosaurus needed help putting on his hat.
Yeah.
Alan, I'm going to be honest with you. I appreciate that you've been learning all about dinosaurs, but next time I would like you to ask them some questions if you're going to time travel.
Okay, sorry, Mr.
If only you brought back some evidence.
Well, I kind of did have there was a little tiny T-Rex. I tried to throw his arms out, but...
T-Rex. Oh, Alan, you're so full of imagination. But I guess that's why I've created you.
No, I really
Well,
had it.
that's the end of our lesson for today. I will catch you next time on another... Alan?
What? I don't know.
Okay. On another episode of Alan Talks to Dr. Tschida and confuses him about time travel and dinosaurs.
No,
and I'm
I
trying
really
to teach you about
did.
fossils. Anyways, I will see you next
No,
time.
I really
Goodbye now.
went. Oh, Mr. Tschida.